Welcome, Jennifer. We're so glad to have you with us today for our chat about our night nanny services. First of all, thank you for being here. And my first question for you is, what are your qualifications and your background that gave you the skills and the abilities for you to come and join our team and work with us here as a night nanny?
Oh, thanks, Maria. So I've been a nurse for 15 years. And my main experience has been maternal and newborn health. So I've kind of dedicated my whole career to that. So I've worked extensively on the postpartum units at a really busy hospital here in Edmonton for on and off for my whole career. I've worked in some of the high risk areas that we have at that hospital. So I've worked with the maternal fetal medicine clinic, where we follow pregnancies that are a little more high risk that just require a little bit more monitoring. I've also worked with the obstetrical medicine group as part of the team there that kind of follows moms that have an underlying health condition. So something like lupus or MS, high blood pressure, diabetes, something going on, and they're also pregnant or wanting to become pregnant, sort of helping them work through all of that. And then I also did the teen pregnancy clinic for a number of years, and that was always a very interesting and exciting job. Back in 2016, I sort of got into more of the educational stuff, so teaching prenatal classes, as well as a postpartum and baby care class. So we kind of go over like all the baby basics, right? Swaddling and diapering and cord care and all of that. And then early this year, I came to work for you, and it's been a wonderful experience.
It certainly has. We've very much enjoyed having you as part of the team, and I know that our clients have loved working with you, which brings me on nicely to our next question. When you're working with a client and it is your first or maybe even your second shift with them, what do you think is sort of the biggest surprise or the biggest unknown that they get out of having you work with them?
Oh, I think the biggest surprise, hey? Well, there's just a lot of sort of chat about what expectations are before I even come to the home. And then something that I always get feedback about is how quickly the time goes by when I'm there. I think the days are long, especially right now for our new moms of 2020 and into 2021, right? And Absolutely. So the days are feeling really long. So when I come in and give them that break that they can kind of recharge their batteries and feel better, capable to take things on again after I've left. So nice way to break up the day for them.
It is. And I'm sure even more than ever before that they are very, very glad to have you with them. In terms of you working with the clients, what is it that you enjoy most in terms of job satisfaction? What gives you that, that sort of moment of feeling like you've really been able to help a family?
Exciting little things that kind of come up when I'm there, like a family that I'm working with right now, the baby just started rolling one day when I was there, and so got to catch that. Right now I'm working with a family that they're starting to introduce solids, and so that's been a real adventure, sort of helping them navigate, starting that safely. So lots of changes that kind of happen, especially when you work with a family for a while. So I've been with the same family for a few months now, and so babies are growing and changing so much during that first year. It's exciting to watch all the changes happen.
It is. It's so lovely to watch them grow because they do. It happens so quickly.
Yes, absolutely.
So the client that you're working with right now, you're working days with. So give people who are watching an idea of what does a day shift look like for you? What sort of activities or chores or duties do you get involved in with the family that you're with right now?
Sure, yeah. So usually when I come in the early afternoon, it's sort of that baby is nap time. So I'll come and take over. This baby sort of needs to be held during its naps, and so I'll come in and take over from mom while the baby is napping. And then we just kind of do a variety of things after nap time. So I'll prepare the bottle and do the feeding. This baby is formula feeding, so we'll do all of that. I always think it's great to get outside and get a little fresh air. So usually mom comes on the walk with me, but the weather's been beautiful here in Edmonton. So nice sunny days and warm weather. So it's been great for everybody, just to kind of get outside and get that little bit of fresh air. Then usually we'll come back in and do some tummy time, or baby's got a variety of different exercisers and chairs and things that she likes to play in. So just kind of playing and hanging out with the baby until they're ready for the next nap and feeding and so on. Yeah, changing all the diapers, anything that baby needs, right?
Yeah, yeah. And so does mom take a nap, or does she get a break? Like, how does she get the most out? Not that what you've just described isn't really, really helpful, but in terms of time for her, does she manage to get a little bit of a break?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that will look different for everybody of what they choose to do in that time that in there. I find right now that a lot of people just kind of want to hang out and visit a bit, which is great. I love that too. But also that allows the mom time to, catch up on her sleep if she wants to go for a nice long nap. If she wants to get outside on her own, go for a long walk, listen to a podcast or some music or an audiobook, just having that time for yourself. You're really busy as a new mom taking care of this little baby. And then when I'm there, it allows you those few hours to do what you need to do to kind of reset and recharge. So maybe it allows you that time for that extra long shower. I remember as a new mom that as soon as I got in the shower, close the door, I'd think, oh, I hear the baby crying, even if he wasn't, right? And so you don't have to worry. You can kind of take your time and relax and do whatever you feel like you need to do to have that little time of self-care. Yeah, absolutely.
Wonderful. So what is it that you enjoy most about working with us as a company?
Well, the flexibility has been really great for me, just because I have two little boys that are, primarily have been at home with me over this last year, right? And so, it's been nice to have those flexible shifts, and just depending on whatever the client's needs are, to kind of pick and choose jobs that work well with family life too. So that's been really great.
Awesome. That's great. And so if somebody out there was considering working with us, but they were maybe a little unsure about whether or not we're a reputable company, whether we would have the work to offer them, or, just sort of a little bit unsure about the tag of the night nanny aspect of things, if they're a midwife or a nurse or internationally trained obstetrician or whatever, would you have any advice to share with them?
If they were considering to come to work for you?
Yes.
I would say just to kind of do your research, maybe try to talk to somebody that's already working with the company, or yourself, of course, and get all your questions answered, because it's definitely a great job. It's wonderful. So I wouldn't hesitate to recommend it to anybody that was interested in this kind of work. I think it's really rewarding to be able to work one-on-one with families in their homes. I've definitely enjoyed my time, for sure.
Wonderful. Thank you. So we've all had what it undoubtedly has been, a tough year. How has working with families and dealing with COVID been for you? What aspects are you putting into place in terms of safety measures? And equally, what measures are families reciprocating with you to make sure that you are safe and that you are safe with them?
Yeah, so I think with my current family that I'm working with, there was just because we were already well into the pandemic when I came to work for them and with them. So there was just a lot of discussion about, what they would feel safe with, and what their expectations were. And so certainly as nurses, and I'm sure all of your staff, your doulas and midwives and other supports are taking this very seriously. We want to keep ourselves really healthy so we can continue to work and keep our families healthy at home, as well as our clients and their families. So it's certainly something that we take seriously, and we put a lot of thought into it when we go into work, right? So continuous masking and making sure that we have lots of extra masks, so those can be changed out frequently. Tons of hand washing. I mean, hand washing has always been on the menu as a nurse, but now more than ever, right? That's the first thing that I do when I go into a client's home, is I go and I wash my hands. So just really making sure that we're fresh and clean with our fresh scrubs on, right? That's the last thing I do before I leave the house, is I get dressed and go. So these aren't scrubs that I've been lounging around in all day. That's what I put on to head out the door. And so I think all of those things kind of come together to sort of put families' minds at ease that, we're doing everything that we can to minimize those risks. I currently just working with one family, so I'm not going into multiple sites and homes and things right now. That's my focus. That's what I'm doing, and that's what's comfortable for us. That's what's comfortable for the client and for me. So that's been working really well.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been an absolute pleasure, as always, to chat to you, Jennifer.
Thank you, Maria. Yeah, lovely to chat with you.